Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to Indy 500 practice and qualifying week. We are deep into the month of May now. This is the Speed Street Podcast. Welcome. My name is Connor Daly, and I'm a participant in the NTT IndyCar Series, driving the Juncos Hollinger Racing Chevrolet number 76. And boy, do we have a new sponsor to talk about on that wagon as well for the Indy 500. We'll get to that. This show is obviously coming out on Wednesday. So you'll already see the car on track. This is kind of, I wish this show was coming out on Tuesday. We were recording on a Monday, but here we are. We're gonna still tell you about it and how it came to be. Chase Holden, my co-host, is here, getting all jacked up for the month of May. A lot of people came up to me over the weekend at the Indianapolis Grand Prix, which was quite a race, yet again dominated by Alex Palou, who we are not interviewing again this week. We just can't do it. But there's a lot to talk about from that race too. We had our best finish of the season, but I mean, that's obviously not where we want to finish. But we also got wrecked on lap one, so we had quite a comeback drive. We had a lot of damage to the floor of the car, so I was actually quite proud of how we did. So yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that. And we can talk about what we're going to, maybe some news. I would say this is a big week for IndyCar positivity. The haters are going to hate it. They're going to be so sad that they can't complain about things this week. Especially certain internet accounts, they're going to hate this week because there's a lot of goodness coming. And let me tell you, if you didn't think people were working on some of the things that people are talking about, well, this week will prove exactly why we have good people doing good work right now behind the scenes. So
I like that.
So Chase, let's get into it first of all. I mean, Alex Palou, race winner once again. I mean, that's it. He won. Race over, and that's it. But
you gotta give some credit to RLL, man. I mean, Graham held it down for a good bit of that race. He did. I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, I would say that, like, they did such a fantastic job in qualifying, dude. Like, I did not see the RLL glow up coming the way that it did at Indy Road. I mean, especially amidst, the new tire rules that were thrown out there. There was a lot that everybody on the teams had to kind of get together, and they seemed to execute it pretty well. Now, the strategy, you could say maybe that didn't work out so well in their favor, but let's be honest, like, how many of you, you're a driver, how many of you guys thought that Graham was going to beat Alex Palou? That's a great question to ask. Did you think that it was possible?
Well, I rewatched the race, and again, I think the Fox broadcasts are continually improving. I really do enjoy how they kind of get around the field a little bit, like we told them to. I think I saw several different battles here and there throughout the field, but that lead battle was interesting to follow as well. I don't know how RLL ended up with primaries at the end. That's definitely a tough one. And when I passed Devlin DeFrancesco on the last stint as well, he was on the primaries also. To just anyone on the primaries at the end were in trouble, but that was the gamble that you take, right? I told my team, I said, without a doubt, I do not want to be on primaries for the last stint. We were on reds, we got the late yellow, and we were able to race our way forward a couple positions. So let's just go through the results really quick. Again, not the most, actually very predictable top three. But if you start getting into the top 10, you're like, hey, whoa, Graham Rahal's here. Oh, Rinus VK's here again. That's pretty cool. Kyle Kirkwood started in the back once again, finishing in the top 10. So let's go through it. Alex Palou, Pato O'Ward, Will Power, Scott McLaughlin, Scott Dixon, Graham Rahal, who led the majority of the race, 49 laps. Marcus Armstrong, Kyle Kirkwood, Rinus VK, Felix Rosenquist, who spun during the race and still finished 10th. Louis Foster, Joseph Newgarden, who had to start last after some weird technical glitch there. Nolan Siegel, Alex Rossi, myself in 15th, Christian Lundgaard, Devlin DeFrancesco, Robert Schwartzman. Honestly, low-key decent day for Robert Schwartzman, I would say. That might be his best finish of the season.
Kind of a high key, I would say. It's very high key.
Good for that team. Yeah. Christian Rasmussen, 19th. Santino Ferrucci, 20th. Stingray Robb, Callum Ilott, David Malukas, Jacob Abel, Colton Herta. Now we're getting into some mechanicals. We had David Malukas with mechanical, Jacob Abel, Colton Herta, Marcus Ericsson with a weird mechanical, and then poor Kiffin Simpson. Car didn't even leave the grid. Sad. I don't know what happened there, but really tough luck for Kiffin Simpson. Honestly, and he, to be fair to Kiffin, as we will be fair to everyone, he was fast all weekend. That Ganassi team is absolute missile launchers, those cars are. So, and Kiffin was driving it well. So, that was a shame for those guys. But, that 2-day weekend happened so fast. And I want to talk a little bit to the fans. And Joseph Newgarden, I saw, put out a video on Twitter about this too. That Friday, a ton of people at the track. And I tell you what, we appreciate the heck out of all you folks that are there. But let me tell you, that's the busiest day of our year, essentially. Like, we had early practice, not a ton of time. Second practice, not a ton of time. Straight into qualifying. Like, it's for us to kind of go from pit lane to garage to pit lane, garage, and all these things, trying to figure out, look at data. And then there was an autograph session in the middle of that day as well. So we're away for an hour to do that. So just I hope the folks had a little bit of patience with us. If we were trying to get places, if you saw drivers trying to get places, I mean, I didn't sit still for more than 10 minutes, maybe looking at data and being able to kind of digest what I needed to for the team. So that was a crazy one. So hopefully, like, Joseph put out a video. He's like, hey, I'm sorry that we can't stop all the time, but we got places to go today. Like, we got to do our job. So Joseph was nice enough to stick around and sign for people on the Friday after all the day was done. I went to the Pacer game with Stingray Robb, my teammate, which was our only loss against the Cavs so far. So that was a shame, but it is what it is. But yeah, the weekend was a wild one. Sadly, we thought we had good pace. We were like 5th or something in FP2. People started using their tires a little bit more creatively, I would say. We didn't use reds until we got to FP2, but we wanted to use some. Some people saved their reds. Kyle Kirkwood said it was a bad idea for him to save their reds because they didn't qualify well at all. But a lot of people, I think, got maybe a little bit overconfident in the pace that they were going to find in the reds. And then when they got to qualifying, their balances were nowhere. Because again, qualifying was a wild one. All 3 Rahals in the Fast 6. I mean, wild. Those cars had insane speed. All 3 cars in the Fast 6. I mean, I don't think anyone would have predicted that, but those guys nailed it. So that was crazy. And you saw, again, we got blocked in qualifying by the 7 car, Christian Lundgaard. That ruined our lap, sadly. Also, the 2 qualifying groups as well. I would say the group 2, if you look at kind of the sometimes you can always tell maybe a little bit easier of a group to navigate than the other. Group 2 was psycho. Like, even Marshall Pruitt was like, I feel bad for anyone in Group 2. That was me. So we were, it was incredibly good qualifiers, fast cars, Penske's, Ganassis, all kinds of stuff. But we got blocked, so we had to start in the back. But so did Kyle Kirkwood. So did Colton Herta Colton Herta started 13th. Grid was spread out all over the place. So everyone was thinking, all right, maybe this is time for a chaotic race. Maybe we're going to get yellows.
Got to climb mountains.
Chase, what did you think when you saw the Rahals in the Fast 6 fighting it out for pole? And then Alex Palou went out and did a lap that was 4/10 clear of the entire field.
Yeah, so there was literally a moment where I was like, holy. Alex is not about to get the pole here. Like, this is going to be Graham. This is going to be Graham's day or whatever, coming out. And then for him to just basically have been withholding whatever Alex Palou holds on to in the car, his patience is unmatched. He just will come out of nowhere, like he like waits for you to be done, and then he's like, okay, my turn, and he just turns it on, and he's like, see, it was going to be this way anyway. That's literally what happens with Alex Palou. But, like I said in the beginning of the show, I don't think anybody, and you said it as well, like, it's history. RLL made history with that. I don't think they had ever had 3 cars in the modern era get into the Fast 6 all together. So that was one stat that I saw over the weekend that went out. And Yeah, those are the moments, right, for fans. Like when you're left on the edge of your seat thinking like, okay, Alex Palou has been this good. This is just where I was at that whole time. I was like, now I'm in. I am locked in. I'm like, okay, we're literally about to see this team beat out Alex Palou after all this hype and all this talk. And then he comes back. That's a good show. And I don't care who you are. That's how you create the nail-biting moments in this race. Oh, yeah. The same thing that he did in the race, too. And I know we'll get into that, but there was just so much that this race had to offer, I think, for some people. And like, there's people out there that want to talk about it, it was okay or whatever. It was not. It was good. There was like, because you had so much going on pit road. You know me, I'm the strategy guy. I love watching strategies. I love watching these guys come down pit road. So there was a little something for everybody with it, but I think that moving forward, what I'm really curious to see is when we do get back to some of these road courses, how RLL can hold on to some of that achievement that they were able to access starting at the Indy Road. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on them big time as we move through the season.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see. And the 2 days kind of had a little bit of everything, right? You had a big engine failure from Santino, like on the warm-up. You had other cars kind of struggling here and there with different mechanical issues. And I mean, during the race, I'll kind of get into our race, right out the gate, but I got absolutely destroyed on lap one. Callum Ilott,
it hurt.
We already talked about it. He absolutely drilled the back of my car into turn 12, and there wasn't really a replay of it. They showed a very quick replay of it on the broadcast, but a lot of people didn't catch it. I rewatched the race. It was there. But again, my car also looks similar to a couple other cars, I believe, so it was kind of hard to tell.
Marcus Ericsson's car a little bit?
No, Marcus's car was very much more greener than mine.
Okay.
But he also had a spin too that was later on. So from our standpoint, I got wrecked, kept going. We were last, right? I actually did pass Jacob Abel still, so we weren't last. And then Callum Ilott had an issue, so last on track essentially. Passed Jacob Abel, got right into it. I'm like, all right, there's got to be something wrong with this thing because I got absolutely destroyed from behind. So, but we didn't know. We didn't know until the first pit stop, which, again, during that first stint, we were on the primary tire, which is our weaker tire, and I did not want to be on the primary tire. I had so much understeer. I was struggling. I was like, all right, we need to put a ton of front wing in this thing. We need to get on the red tires. And because last year, if you watch the race, Felix Rosenqvist got spun on lap one, still ended up finishing in the top 10. So you can have a good race at the Indy GP as long as you never give up and you try to make some pace, like make some good laps while you have clear track. So we were able to get pitted basically as soon as we could on the primary and get onto reds. And once I got onto reds, we found some really good speed. And again, once we pitted, the team was like, hey, the floor is damaged. So that's what I was feeling, maybe a little bit of a balance shift, a little bit of a balance issue because we had damage to the diffuser. Now, the diffuser is the most important part of the car, essentially. So having damage to that is not ideal. But we kept on fighting. And as we were going, I mean, I saw Marcus Ericsson spin. I almost pitted seeing Marcus spin because I was like, oh, we're going to have a yellow finally. But he made it back to the pits. Yeah. Then there was another spin. Felix Rosenqvist spun, rejoined right in front of me. I'm like, goodness gracious, another crash where it almost been a yellow. So, I mean, there was 3 crashes, 3 accidents essentially that happened, no yellows. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to get another all-green race because everyone's continuing here. Everything seems to be clean enough. But
we hold on for hope.
Yeah, exactly. But it was an interesting day. I mean, from our standpoint, we just had to fight forward, push, qualifying laps all day long, try to figure out the strategy. And then obviously they had the strategy basically that was forced upon us, which is 2 primaries, 2 alternates. Now, again, I don't know how the Rahal cars decided that they were going to finish on the primaries, but if you so let's think of it like this. If you make up enough time on the soft tires during the middle of the race, and there's no yellows, you might survive. However, worst case scenario for all those people on primaries is a late race yellow. And sadly, Graham Rahal also had an issue in the pit stop as well, which was, that obviously that was not good for them in general.
No.
But yeah, wild situation to finally, get to a yellow. And I mean, the praise that the broadcast gave the yellow too was hilarious. The people went nuts. Will Buxton, James Ishmael were like, "Oh, we finally got a yellow!" And it was actually like such a short yellow. It was very, very quick.
It was enough to stack the field, though. Like it was David Malukas, My Sacrifice, Creed. It was blaring from the stands.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been.
Yeah, so that was wild, but. Lots of, I mean, you had Colton Herta with a mechanical failure. You had Marcus Ericsson with a mechanical failure. Just stuff that you're like, oh man, we a little bit more spice than what we've had in the past. And again, Rinus VeeKay with another career day. Rinus VeeKay is out there doing stuff with that Dale Coyne Racing car that I think is truly deserving of recognition. I mean, it's fantastic.
He's showing people why he is the driver that he says he is. And it's also showing people just how much a driver can bring to the table in this series, especially with a team that a lot of people had maybe a different perception of for so long. It's like, what now? You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of IndyCar. That's the beauty of what happens in this series.
Exactly. So as we got through our race, it was a challenge. The track was difficult to drive, but the last restart was exciting. We were on red tires, but once again, we had a good, honestly, we had a solid day for what we were given. I think with our damaged car, the team they gave me some great pit stops. We pitted at the right times. We got out in the right spaces. So I'm proud of our guys. Obviously, look, 15th is that's not where we want to be. Completely understand that, but I think. When you guys, and again, I can't fully let people into the garage area, but when you understand kind of what how we're growing as a team and how much work that, needs to be done and how difficult this sport is right now and how perfect everything has to be, I think other than Alex Palou, you're seeing more of an inconsistency than ever with, I think, a lot of the other drivers. I mean, this is all of a sudden you're seeing Kyle Kirkwood, Colton Herta qualifying all different spots, and Joseph Newgarden start last, only finishing 12th. Chevy hasn't won a race yet, right? Like that's wild. So there's something about this year and this era of the car that is definitely creating some challenges for the team, and for all the teams except for Alex Palou. Obviously, he's making everyone look silly, but it was just I thought it was a great race to watch. I rewatched it. I had a fun time charging forward. We did everything we could do, and with a damaged car to get where we did, we're quite proud of it. I think we learned a lot. We made a lot of big changes that some didn't work, that we know for the future, what we can build on. So yeah, I think it was a cool race. Again, Alex Palou dominating, and I think we have to respect that. I really do. I don't see anything else other than we got to respect that. And until someone shows up and dethrones them, I mean, they are doing the best job. Alex makes no mistakes. He's the fastest person on track. They call the perfect strategy. It's every single member of that team has not made a single mistake. So I don't see it as something to be like, oh, that's such a shame. And people are like, oh, well, all the cars are the same. Is Alex Palou really doing a better job? It's like, no, all the cars are not. I actually I got into some arguments on Twitter because people were saying that all the cars are the same, which they're not. And it's not a full spec series. There's a spec chassis, spec aero pieces, and engines that, you couldn't, two very different engines, to be honest with you.
There are places to play. We'll put it that way.
There are a lot of places to play. Yes. So, and there are complete open areas of development, like we've talked about before, but a lot of F1 fans hate to acknowledge that. But it's something that, again, that team right now is at the highest level. The personnel are executing at the highest level, and the driver is doing the job at the highest level. Now, I think at some point he will be dethroned. I believe that. I mean, we've got Indy 500 coming up. He's not won on an oval yet, but does he have a good chance? Absolutely. 1,000% He's got a great chance. But I just wanted to pay some respects to him, and just kind of understand and just tell people, hey, we're witnessing greatness.
How much, I have to ask you, like, with watching what Chip Ganassi Racing and Alex with that 10 car and that 10 team is doing, how many eyeballs are really dialed in to that entire program right now, and what are teams trying to kind of take away, if anything, from what they're doing? Like, how can a team kind of look to try to carbon copy what's going on, if that's an option?
I actually don't know. The biggest surprise for me is how kind of far off Scott Dixon, his teammate's been from him, because his teammate has all the data.
Still
even the
Meyer.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, Scott Dixon's not having terrible days, but even his teammates, Marcus Armstrong, Felix Rosenquist, those guys are in the same engineering camp. So, from that side, what Alex is doing is truly impressive, because again, it's not like the entire podium is filled up with Ganassi cars, right? Or MSR cars. So
right.
That I would say is a testament to what Alex is doing. And I actually asked Felix. I was sitting next to Felix Rosenquist at the autograph session, and I was like, so, I mean, Alex is just really good, isn't he? He's like, yeah, man. Like, because he gets to look at his data, right? And he gave me that look that it's like, this guy is like wildly impressive. So I think when it comes from someone who can see his data, and again, I've not seen his data, but one thing that I think is actually very interesting. Now, now I got my conspiracy helmet on. I'm wearing the tinfoil hat.
Let's go.
Alex Palou, championship leader by a mile, big sponsor, DHL. Alex Palou doesn't have an onboard camera. Why is that? Is Alex Palou, is Chip Ganassi trying to maybe hide Alex Palou's greatness?
What?
I don't know. Alex Palou doesn't have a TV camera, and I would say you're probably going to have a TV camera on your championship leader, not Alex Palou. Very interesting.
Opt for that?
I don't know. So maybe he is so good that Ganassi is full on like, nah, we're not going to put it on board. We don't want anyone seeing what he's doing behind the wheel. I don't know.
God,
tinfoil hat. That's what I'm doing. I noticed that over the weekend. I was like, man, how does that guy? Wait a second. He doesn't have an onboard camera. Like, we're not seeing anything from the Palou wagon. I thought that was wild. So anyway,
how much weight does the camera add to the car, Connor?
No, they're all the weight is equal. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
But yeah. It was really funny. I was just like, I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat there. For some reason, I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, there's no onboard camera on Alex Palou's car. We're gonna figure this out. How long does that last? I don't know. When do they put one on, or are they gonna keep turning it down because they don't want anyone to see the secrets? I don't know. I'd like to see some Alex Palou on board.
This is intriguing.
That was just a funny note.
Yeah.
But I also real quick, I think there was. I wanted to tell a funny story. I got into the wrong driver introduction truck as well before the race. Apparently, we were doing driver intros on the stage, and then we were supposed to walk down and get in trucks. I guess I wasn't told that we were going to get in trucks and do a lap, and so I just went to the bathroom. And I came out of the bathroom, and all these drivers were walking towards trucks, and I was like, oh, you guys are getting in these trucks? And I was with Colton and Felix, and obviously they were much further up than me. Colton was just like, well, get in our truck. I was like, all right. And then they said, oh, no, just get in with Felix. And so me and Felix got in the truck, and we just rode around. I was like, I got in the wrong truck, but here we are. So shout out to the fans. I looked like I started much further ahead than I did. I still actually started in the back, but I got in the truck that made me feel like I was starting more near the front.
There you go.
That was very funny. But yeah, great crowd as well over the weekend. Chase, I don't know what it looked like on TV, but I know I heard from inside sources that the crowd was very much up this year, and it was a tremendous showing from the folks over the weekend. Really, really cool crowd. I mean, a ton of kids as well. Great to see a lot of young folks out there at the track. Just all of the energy. The weather was perfect. I mean, just everything about this event, I think, went swimmingly, I would say.
Yeah.
And I love this road course race. I really do. I think it's such a fun track to race on. I think it's a good race circuit. But yeah, just, again, someone's got to dethrone Palou, and who knows who knows how we'll get there. But yeah, I don't know if you wanted to mention anything else from the race, Chase. Was there anything else that you had on your mind? Anything else before we get to maybe some other news nuggets? Because we've got some news nuggets, and then also we didn't mention this at the beginning of the show, and I probably should have. That's on me. Hand up. We have a 4-time Indy 500 winner coming on the show today, Elio Castroneves. So that's awesome. Yeah. So we're going to get to Elio as well. But anything else from the race, Chase, that you wanted to bring up or mention?
Just want to commend, Doug for being the president that he is. Saw some photos and videos of him out there with the fans, man, just this past weekend, just talking, listening. Like, you just don't see that from a president, not just of a track, but of a series in our world today. So big shout out to Doug Bowles for just always consistently being a man of the people. We thank you, Doug.
Absolutely. I think this week, so I completely didn't mention anything about this yet. I said at the beginning of the show that I have a sponsor announcement, and I'm sure everyone's like, well, why didn't you just lead with that? Well, no, we had to get into the Indy Road race. We had to get into the Indy Road course race. But let's start getting into the week ahead. We have a very, very important week, and I honestly think this week, sadly, I am not able to spill any news on my show yet. I have not been given the green light to spill any news. But if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, what's he going to talk about? There is some awesome news coming for this sport this week. Not only Indy 500 related, but also into the future related. So again, like I mentioned earlier, haters are going to hate it because I think this is a really, really strong time for our sport. Well, it will be a strong time as we continue to grow. But just stay tuned for some really cool news this week. Pay attention to the social channels. Know that people are working behind the scenes for the fans, for us. I think it's going to be awesome. But let's get to my Indy 500 sponsor. So this deal happened very last minute, and it all started in Long Beach, oddly enough. I don't even have the logos on my shirt or hat yet because we don't even have them made yet. This has been last minute. But this is, without a doubt, one of the biggest deals that I've ever done in my career when it comes to the size of a company, the magnitude of this group and the ownership of said partner. But we are going to have AM/PM on the side of the Juncos Hollinger Racing Chevrolet for the Indianapolis 500. A beautiful purple and orange paint scheme. AM/PM. We got some. I mean, it's an awesome affiliation. Tons of West Coast gas stations that you can go visit. There's even one on the Purdue campus that I found out. My little brother, he goes to Purdue. There's one in Indiana. Might go up there very soon to go shopping at AM/PM. An incredible partnership. Something that, I mean, honestly, this came together so fast that it's hard to believe. AM/PM, the convenience store chain, obviously lots of gas stations around the West Coast, convenience stores, and also kind of around the nation. But this is for the Indianapolis 500, obviously. AM/PM is kind of, it's a totally recognizable brand for me. I mean, anytime I go to the West Coast very often now, right? My girlfriend lives out in California,
kind of a resident.
I am
the West Coast.
I understand plenty of AM/PMs. Arco is also on our car as well. Arco, which is of the Marathon Petroleum group, which is very large. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with that group, but very, very large. Just a perfect partnership for motorsport, motor racing, and this this is also going to be on our car for the Laguna Seca race, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and Portland. Obviously, the rest of the West Coast races, which is super cool. And I am just super proud of this one. I mean, this is a guy that I met in Long Beach, and he asked, "Hey, do you guys still need, like, are you guys still looking for partners?" And I was like, I mean, actually, yeah, like really desperately. And both myself, my manager Andrew, we got on the phone and we started, how can we put a cool deal together? Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but now fellow Dirty Mo podcaster and I, Denny Hamlin, share a sponsor. AMPM is also on Denny Hamlin's car for a few races this year. So shout out Denny. We're sort of teammates now, which is awesome. But the car just looks fantastic. I'm super proud of both, my manager and the team, the Hukos Hollinger team, for how quickly they were able to get a livery all done up, how quickly, shout out to OMP for trying. We're going to try to get suits as quick as we can get them made. I'm trying to get hats by tonight, tomorrow. We're trying to make it as good as we can make it, but things can only happen so fast. Might even get some die casts of this car eventually, which would be sweet. It looks fantastic, and it is really cool. I mean, a highly recognizable brand, not necessarily in the Midwest yet, but more so nationwide out the West Coast or some on the East Coast as well. It's something that you as a fan, you can literally go and support us. Go to every AMPM that's around you. Take a picture. Say, hey, we're out here supporting the number 76, me, whatever you want to do. You can literally go out and support our sponsor yourself. And that's what I think is so cool. It's something where consumers can go and support us as a team, the driver, the sponsor, and it's something that I'm super proud of. And Chase, I don't know, did I show you the car yet?
I have seen some images of the car. I mean, it's the official gas station of Connor Daly.
That's it.
That's what it is now. It's the official gas station of Connor Daly and Dennis Hamlin. That's it. That there is all you need to know.
The official convenience store gas station of Connor Daly. I'm going to put it up on the screen. There we go.
Boom.
Right there. Boom. There it is.
We have
this
a purple car.
This is obviously, in the emails. This is very early on. I'm going to have Bobby hide anything, but it's awesome. It looks really, really cool.
It does.
I'm super pumped about just not only the super speedway version, but also the road course version as well. I'm so pumped. Like I honestly, as of this was getting done at Barber, like while we were at Barber,
right.
Like Friday, Saturday, we were on the phone all the time, kind of going back and forth. And all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, we have an Indy 500 sponsor.
That's how these things work, though, man. Like, that's the beauty of racing. I mean, I've been in this long enough to see some of these deals get put together and how it's so fast. Like, it's like you literally go fast for a living and everything else.
It can take years. It could take years, or it could go really fast.
Yeah. It's one or the other.
If you want, please go to an AMPM, tweet at me, tweet at them, tell them that you appreciate, what they're doing. I know that we're probably going to look into doing some really cool stuff when we get back out to the West Coast at local AMPM stores. So I'm thrilled. I'm really thankful, and cheer on the number 76. We are still number 76, but it is now the AMPM Chevrolet. So AMPM and Arco Chevrolet. So that is I'm pumped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really pumped.
That car
about
looked good. That car looked real good.
I think it's really sweet. Before we get to Elio Castroneves, really quick, Alex Rossi is a dad. Quick news nugget: Alex Rossi is a dad.
Welcome.
He's been sneaky dadding for the last, obviously, 9 months. The baby was just born last week. So Dad Rossi was they were doing their thing in private. Him and his wife Kelly. Got to respect that. And shout out Mother's Day baby announcement. Gotta love that. I respect it. I've obviously known about this for a very long time. And sadly, I might have leaked it or almost leaked it to people after 4 or 5 months into the whole deal, because I was like, oh, wait, like I forgot that they're not telling people. And so, but thankfully it didn't really get out. But
That's
but yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
so hard to do, to keep that a secret in today's age. Like, you got to give it to him, dude.
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen his wife Kelly in like 7 months, so I think they've been just trying to be low key, focus on making sure everything's good, where everyone's healthy, which is very important.
Right.
And I am now an uncle as well. So my brother and his wife had a kid 2 days before Alex's kid. So 2 or 3 days before Alex's baby, my little niece. Maisel May Daly. She awesome was born May 5th, Cinco de Mayo baby. So very excited to be Uncle Connor now. I'm very, very happy for my brother and his wife. Super pumped to have a little gal in the family. That's a cool moment. Got to be a cool uncle. So babies are flying around everywhere. Babies
this
are being
is your
born.
Mom's first grandbaby too, right?
This is my mom's first grandbaby.
How is she taking the grandma news, man?
I think she cries every day because she's happy about it. I was actually in the hospital with her. I was in the hospital as soon as the baby was delivered. And as soon as my mom saw it, she's like, I want to have more kids. I would be on the cover of the National Enquirer because it's probably impossible for me to have them. I was like, Mother, you are not going to have any more kids. You are not that's not appropriate for a woman of your age. But she loves the kids, and she's going to be a great grandma. So yeah, we'll happy for the families all across the board. So
big family
those are
time.
Our little news nuggets of the week. I would say news nuggets of the week. Shout out to the Rossi family. I haven't met the little baby yet, but got to see pictures. Grandpa Rossi, Alex's dad, is very proud as well. He was very happy to show some pictures on pit lane during the weekend. But with that, a lot of news nuggets. Let's get to the 4-time Indy 500 champion, Elio Castroneves, Spider-Man. This is a legendary interview, and we appreciate him for being on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we are extremely lucky and extremely just thrilled to have a very young Brazilian man, a 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner, a man who is still racing Indy cars at the age of 50, which I think is incredible. You are truly not even human anymore. You're just a superhero. Elio Castroneves is here. Dancing with the Stars champion as well. Let's not forget, Dancing with the Stars champ. Elio, you're about ready to get back into the race car again at 50. How are we feeling?
Thank you for the young, my friend, because you're absolutely right. 50 is just a number. And if you're talking about the numbers, anyway, we're talking about going for the number 5. The month of May is 5, it's 5th, right? So I'm 50, which is 5. Oh my God, man. And it's going to be 25th, so the race. So all of these numbers, it's just been adding for our hopefully possible making history here. But I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome. Thank you for being on the show. We've been talking quite a lot, and unfortunately our dates never work, but now we're here.
You know what's crazy? You mentioned a lot of 5s. That's also kind of wild. So my little brother actually just had his first kid, so I'm an uncle now, 5-5-25, and his number was 5 when he played lacrosse, and I'm like, a lot of 5s going on right now, a lot of 5s. Maybe it's the year of the 5s. I don't know.
I hope you're right. And who is the number 5 on the grid here? Do you know?
Great. Is anyone number 5? I don't know. I don't think anyone is, right? It used to be Hinch, remember? It used to be Hinch when he was in the aero car.
And he's not, so that means number 5 is coming. But anyway,
there you go.
I don't want to be rude, but I can see Chase and Bobby. Oh, Bobby's not on the screen. So hi guys, how you doing?
What's up, brother? Hey, talking about number 5, I'll just say Pato, number 5.
Oh, Pato's 5. We're idiots.
I'm just here, though.
We are idiots.
Get out of there, Chase. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So now
that's on us. That's a big mistake. That'll be a clip for sure. We have no idea who number 5 is. Sorry, Pato, most popular driver in IndyCar right now. Yeah,
who is it?
We're in trouble.
Man. So I want to get into it with you real quick. So we obviously got to be teammates. I thought it was very cool, a very short period of time, but it was very cool experience for me to be your teammate and be a part of that MSR team. An incredible group of people, honestly. Still, I would say that was, although short, one of the most enjoyable times in my career, just because of the people that were there and how much everyone wanted to do well, how much everyone was willing to do to succeed. An incredible group. And that was when you guys were partnered with the Andretti Autosport team, right?
That's correct.
Now you're with the Ganassi operation and that partnership. What has that transition been like from your standpoint? Obviously, now you're on the ownership side and you can kind of see things from a very high level. What's that transition been like for you so far?
Yeah, let me start first with the people. You're absolutely right, Connor. It's actually incredible group of guys, girls. A lot of they put a lot of effort. Mike is pretty much, as you know him, hands on it. The guy passionate about it, just like me in racing. He's passionate about to make sure that these people are well treated and everyone have a great harmony around the team. And I mentioned to Mike sometimes, I work with an incredible teams. Penske organization was one of them. Roger is an incredible business person, also passion. That's something that people don't realize, but he's passionate about racing. He could be very well much playing golf or something else, but no, he likes to be on the racetrack, and seeing his cars. And again, you can achieve success. You don't need to wear a suit and tie to achieve success. You can keep your own personality and do some hard work, and that's what I feel that MSR is right now. Now, the connection with the technical alliance with Ganassi, it just showed that it's being really gelling really well. We all thought obviously it's going to be something different, but it's another level as well. The team is incredible. The people is being incredible from Chip Ganassi as well. I heard already many years before that they are incredible people, and it's true. It's great to be working with them at the moment. Marcus and Felix are doing exceptional well, qualifying super well. In some races, it's just up and down. You know how competitive it is. You are there right now, so it's very, very tough. But we feel great coming to the month of May with an incredible partnership and the technical guys with a great organization as a Ganassi. But we're still doing our own things as well. The gearbox, the suspension, and a bunch of other areas. We're still doing on the MSR side, which hopefully that will be good enough to be competitive as well.
I think it's really fascinating to look at kind of the places you've been in IndyCar. Obviously, we know you as Penske driver, Elio Castroneves, right? Forever. And that was where I grew up. I knew Elio Castroneves, Penske, boom, red and white cars. That was awesome. But now you've kind of got to see really the top level operations, with MSR, with a little bit of Andretti, with a little bit of that Ganassi, feel. Can you tell what separates those types of operations? Like Penske, obviously we know as Penske Perfect, the top level. But right now, Ganassi is destroying everyone, essentially. They are winning everything. And I don't know if you can, without letting any too many secrets out of the bag, but can you tell a difference in how, each operation is run?
Yes, I can. It's everyone has your personality, as I mentioned. Penske, no question, the details on everything. From the floor, from the looks of the car, from the suspension, the chrome suspension, wheels, what used to be, and all of these details. Maybe this is not my game performance on the racetrack. However, that's the one they want to look. They want to look spotless, and they do look spotless. The Andretti, they don't look much on that part, but they have a great group of guys as well, great engineers, people that has been loyal to him for a long time, which makes a difference as well on this aspect. And with Ganassi, which I'm learning right now, they are, wow, you can see the strategies, the level of the guys. They've been so long with those with Chip, but Chip also put in incredible guys, which is a little bit less than Penske and more than Andretti, so it's kind of like leveled out. And MSR is just learning all of that to understand that sort of area. But I feel that everyone is in this aspect. When you get to that level, Connor, it's not less or more. It's just a different characteristic, different personalities that it make the team what it is. And they win. They all the winners that those teams. So basically, you can't just say like, oh, he's winning, the other one's not winning. Yes, when you get a combination momentum like Palou is happening right now, he's the only one that winning right now. So yes, he makes the team and everything perfect.
Yeah, it's because I think when you mention the MSR personnel, I mean, I completely agree with you. Thinking about all the engineers there, the mechanics, the ownership group, combining that with something like a technical alliance is almost mind-blowing, because I already think MSR the standalone group is an incredible group. And obviously they prove that on the sports car side every weekend as well. Everyone over there is fantastic. So I think it's really cool that you found your way into the ownership side. Has that been enjoyable for you? Has there been decisions that you've had to make where you're like, oh, this is not something that I was a part of as a driver?
Yeah, no. One of the decisions to go into Ganassi was I basically joined with Mike, and we're very strong. He was not doubting the way people get in habit, and you're like, okay, I already have this, why I want to change? It's actually working. I was like, no, you want to get better. If you want to grow, you want to win races, so, and that's exactly how I push them to, let's do it. It's going to be good. And Shimai was like, are you sure? So it was kind of like, say, look, there is no question about it. And so far it's been great, right? We're being a good combination. Chip seems to be very involved as well. I did not know much about that on the side from Chip Ganassi. He's been every week calling Mike, which is great. So if you see that, it's a great combination. I feel that we are the distant family, but now getting together, and I feel just absolutely great.
That's awesome. Chase, I'm going to let you jump in here.
Yeah, Helio, you have had the good fortune of really getting to experience IndyCar on multiple fronts. You've been through multiple eras. You've kind of watched the series evolve from when you began your career until now. What I'm curious to know is, what is your vision for how motorsport and competition in the IndyCar series specifically evolves over the next 5 to 10 years? What is your vision for that?
Look, obviously, after the pandemic, a lot of things changed. We all in the same boat here. We are decided to basically, when Roger bought the Speedway and this entire series, he saved the series. That's my opinion. If it's true or not, that's my opinion. And it takes time. It takes time to just go back to the same position. I believe what Formula One did to the open wheel world definitely helps. Even that Formula One obviously became so much popular than anything else in motor racing. But I feel that our series also grew, and lately, it's being steady. I believe now Fox being part of the our broadcast event, it's just gonna not reinvent, but it push to the next level that the series deserve. And with that, it's like just the rolling scenario that is going to continue going. I believe Honda, Chevy, working with the new generation of cars that is going to come in 2027. That is also something that is going to change. Even that the fans and the people that actually watch the race, they might not know the difference. They're just going to see everything the same. But I do feel it's going to create even more entertainment, going to new places. I believe that's what we need. IndyCar needs to continue going to explore new places. I heard a lot of things for the future, but obviously Texas is one of them that I feel is going to be huge a success. So when you start adding this areas, our sport is just going to continue to grow. Yes, it changed a lot because today the young generation does not watch TV as much. They watch, obviously, the phone, their Instagram and things like that. So we got to shift all of this to that direction. However, our product is IndyCar product is just phenomenal, and yeah, steady. We're gonna continue going that way. You see now NASCAR people coming over, like Kyle Larson is going to be driving again, which is great to show that there is interest in other series for people to come over here. You saw new teams coming with like Prema. So right now, I feel that the series is just on the beginning to continue rolling up, and yeah, it's going to continue to get better and better.
And I mean, obviously, you're invested in this sport. So, like, I mean, you want to be a part of this kind of growth. And I completely agree with you. I mean, I hope to continue to be an IndyCar for many more years as well. But it's something that I think a lot of us can see right now. There's a lot of positive momentum. I think the Fox thing is so early on. And I think, obviously, you know more as, now an owner in the series. You probably know a lot more behind the scenes about all the work that's being done, some of the stuff that I think, there's going to be a lot of great news, I think, this week for our sport that I think people will find out that's like, hey, maybe we are going the right direction here, because there's a lot of haters on the web. I get deep into the comments section, but I truly don't think people understand what's going on behind the scenes. And, I think you yourself as an owner probably know, hey, well, there's a lot that we can be excited about going forward.
Hey, sometimes haters are not that bad thing, It's nice to hear them, haters. And it's like, okay, we take it, no problem. I mean, unless people get overexcited, it's a little too much. But I say, we got to have the other side as well, and we can hear. But I really feel that the 90s generations, that when they have the Rick Mears, Al Jr., all those incredible drivers, Michael Andretti, Mario. I do believe we can go back to that halo days of IndyCar, and I feel that we're gonna be there very soon.
I love that. So let's talk about your car. Let's talk about your upcoming seat at the track. We're getting into action tomorrow, obviously. This show comes out on Wednesday morning, so it's a little bit delayed, but it's all good. How did you feel at the open test? What were your thoughts on this new package, the hybrid weight with the hybrid integration? Kind of give us your thoughts from someone who has literally driven many different Indy cars at this track.
It's so funny, Conrad, you mentioned that, because first 2 laps, just acclimated again, back in the seat, back in the speedway, and just getting used to. And when we stopped the first run, first two runs, and one of the guys, so did you use the deploy, the hybrid? I'm like, oh, that's right. I mean,
forgot. Yeah.
I completely. That's what the buttons are.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, okay, never mind. My bad. I will go back down again and try. So it was really funny, because I feel this is the first race that we're gonna have everybody with the hybrid, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be really challenged to deploy and obviously regen. I'm sure you felt that, and you can actually explain a little bit better if you wanted to the listeners or viewers, that it does make a difference, even if it's small. But here, the speeds are so big and so high that anything is small, it's big.
So, yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. Whoever had left for the last lap, those few seconds to make a move, it's gonna be very, very, very interesting.
And what did you think of traffic running? Because I don't know how deep you got into the traffic. I mean, I think everyone kind of had their own program, but I thought last year I would say it was difficult, but not, it's always difficult when you're deep in traffic, no matter what.
Yeah.
But this year, you have the hybrid to apply. You've got a couple different maybe balance changes now that are maybe foreign to drivers.
Yeah,
that
now we have
might be new.
We have over 120 pounds now in the car, so we're definitely going to change the weight distribution for those that might want to be a technical. When you change that kind of amount of weight in the car, you change the whole balance of the car. Now the forces that it's bringing, you're going to add more downforce or less, or the balance will change. So you need to be prepared for that. From my experience, I think the track's still just getting more grip. I believe it's going to be harder from third, fourth, fifth car in line to make any kind of move. It's going to be very difficult. It was already like that, but I think just amplified a tiny bit more in those circumstances. Even that the tires seems to be holding well. Firestone is doing a great job on that, mimicking from last year, which is they are the same. So I feel this is going to be another battle between first and second towards to the end. Whoever's in the lead is going to be in that condition. So you're going to have to time well when you using the point when you one attack and I felt great. I felt really good with the car right away, but we're going to continue to work to develop and improve it better, even more.
I love it. Chase, I'll let you get another one in here.
Yeah, Helio, so obviously when you're on the track, I guess I want to know, do you think about legacy in real time when you're driving at Indy, or is it something that only hits you after the fact?
Chase, that's no, I'm not even think about that, even when I'm walking around, it's I got so much to achieve, my friend. I mean, I feel that I just beginning, and I joke around. It's a cliche that 50 is just a number, but it's true. I feel energizing. I don't know if it's the whatever these days that people are living longer, right? So a
lot of workouts, good vitamins. You're on a Florida health program. You're locked in.
I guess that's correct, man. I feel that it's just gonna keep it going. So for me, when you say legacy and it's it's a mouthful word, and that in fact
it is a loaded word.
Yeah, it's I will be in I was inducted to the Hall of Fame. It's going to be Thursday, the week of the race at the Speedway, which for me it's an honor. It's just absolutely I still don't understand how incredible this is. So, but I'm going to continue what I'm doing. I'm going to continue going out there like I was driving my first time, and always respecting this place and let everything connect, and hopefully with that attitude, which has been working a lot of years, it's going to bring another one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love
right?
That. Yeah.
Elio, when you mention, I mean, legacy, it's a wild one, but this truly is something that, going for 5 Indy 500 wins is something that is so unique, and you obviously more than anyone else knows how challenging this race is, because you've had the best of days, and you've probably had some of the worst of days too at this track. And I think, this will be my 12th, which feels crazy for me, but, having kind of been through a few different ups and downs myself, and seeing what this race can do to your mental side and everything, I want you to kind of let people know how you approach, yet another month of May. It's like, hey, I've won this thing 4 times, which is awesome. But I know for a fact you're still locked in. We're going to look at data. We're going to try to figure this out, because that drive to win another one has to be, you would be the only one, which is so astounding. So do you find yourself motivated at an even higher level than when you wanted to get the 4th to kind of tie the other 3 4-time winners?
Look, Connor, I'll be honest. Watching the race on Saturday, the GP, the Sonsui GP Grand Prix, I was like, I don't want to be there. I know, I understand. Yeah. I understand. I'm not going to be there. But I was like, So when we had the chance to be in the car, and now back here that I'm going to be driving, putting the helmet on and sliding into the car and getting ready. I was late for your interview, by the way, because I was right there with the engineer. So I literally was like, I gotta go because I gotta have an interview with Connor. But and it's being here, it motivates me. Yeah, just to be at Speedway, because I don't see another way. I was actually bumping to Tony, and Tony said, "I'm gonna go out there. I have to go and do some laps." And he's in another lap. He's already the boss, taking care of the whole team. And I tell you, when you grab something, and it doesn't matter if it's racing or whatever profession you do, I guess us athletes, when we have that mentality that you got to focus, be determined, dedicated, you don't think anything else, right? You just go for it. And that's why exactly when you said, or actually Chase, as you were thinking, no, I'm driving when I'm there, I'm thinking, what's that? The car's not turning. There it is. You get mad because you got tell the engineer, let's look at it again. There's something. So this is the type of thing that makes you go out there and get motivated and get excited for the next day. And hopefully whatever change you made or whatever details that you found, yes, and then go again. So yes, that's what motivates me. Going to keep it going. And hopefully all of this connection that we have with my teammates, Felix, Marcus, and obviously the program with Ganassi, it's going to give us the opportunity. Just give me the opportunity, to be there towards the end. The rest of it, I'll take care of it.
There you go. I love that. Before I let you go, I want to get your thoughts on currently the superstar. I mean, Alex Palou. I think right now, you've been through many generations of this sport. You've seen some of the best, and you've raced against them. You've beaten them. You've been in this series, for a very long time, obviously. But what can you compare what we're seeing now to, some other drivers that you've been racing up against? I mean, it kind of reminds me of maybe like when Scott Dixon was winning a bunch of his early championships. I don't know. Who do you think Alex Palou kind of reminds you of? Because this truly is, I think, a level of dominance that we really haven't seen in our series in a long time.
No, he definitely connects well right now with his group. Obviously, the group number 10, it's a really well momentum, and it's hard. It's hard to beat when you have that momentum for the competitors, right? Thank God we're going to an oval, which probably going to break a little bit of this his momentum.
I hope so.
We all hope so, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in now, and I'm definitely going to make harder to him. But the point is, when you get to that level, you just got to keep it going. And every time you jump in the car, you're going to be fast. Then the team as well. Not only the driver, but the team as well. And remember, this is a team sport. People just sometimes thinking just in one guy. No. Pit stops are incredible. Strategy is incredible. And obviously driving style right now, he's on top of the game. He reminds me of Zanardi. When Zanardi was, every year he comes back and boom, the guys, it's just on that roll that even when he crashes and he comes back and still win the race. You're like, what the heck? So that reminds me of him as of right now. But I remember my engineer, Raul Prado, from...
I like Raul. I got to work with him as well. Smart guy. Yeah.
He is the one that told me about Palou. I think he was an engineer in Formula 2 or in Japan or whatever series that Palou was before he come to IndyCar. He's like, man, he's really good. So I heard about his name way before who he is right now, and it's just proving. So when you're good, one day your time will come, and now it's his time again.
Yeah, it's been very impressive. I have two quick questions for you that I think are interesting. So I want to know what was your favorite Indy 500 that you didn't win? Like what was a race where you were like, that was actually an awesome race. You didn't win, but it was a race that you were like, that was a sweet Indy 500. And I know it's hard because you've won several, so obviously those are pretty sweet. But what's like your favorite one that you didn't get a chance to win?
There was a friend of mine that he likes one of those sarcastic guys that always like thinking on the negative side. Instead of he introduced me a 4-time Indy 500 champ, he introduced me a 3-time runner-up of the Indy 500. I'm like, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. That's just so
tough. Yeah,
it is. Because those runner-ups, it was incredible. So 2003 was the year that Gilles de Ferran won the race. And
I remember.
Man, I was driving with one arm here on the side of the car and just cruising the whole 500, just having a good time. So, hey, seen the chick on the grandstand. What's up? Calm your eyes.
What a mess.
It was absolutely impressive. And I got one back mark of 40 laps to go, and 20 laps to go. And he caught me in the momentum that I just relaxed a little bit. And from there on, it wasn't like these days that you have a lot of drag. Back then you have a car that if you trim, you could just pull away. I wasn't his gearbox, but man, it was hard to pass, and I could never did it. It was great because not only he was my friend, but also teammate. You would be 3 in a row. You would be great. But that one, it stings till this day.
Oh man, that's wild. I was there. I was a young lad, but I was there. I remember seeing it. And then real quick, we were teammates. Can you? How was I as a teammate? I've asked this to another driver before that we had on, a couple drivers before. I obviously got thrown in there, sadly, because of what happened to Simon, and that was such a crazy deal. But when I showed up on Saturday at Mid-Ohio, I mean, give us a rating and pretend I'm not here. It's fine, or you can. But I thought it was great to see how you work, and as someone who obviously looked up to you when I was younger, I was like, hey, this is a wild moment to be teammates with Elio Castroneves.
When I saw you jumping in, what is it? You jump in with somebody's suits, right? There wasn't even
it was one of the mechanic suits.
The mechanic suit. I mean, look, just so people understand, race cars are made to be fit to the driver, right? So everything needs to be perfect. You at least got your seat, right, from Carpenter?
I did get a seat. Yeah.
At least you got the seat, but I mean, everything needs to be custom made for the driver. You jump in with a mechanic racing suit, which is amazing, by the way. Not even practicing anything. I gave your rating of at least 9.5 because me going in like that, I was like, you guys gotta be kidding me. It's impossible. No, I was really impressed. You just no complaint, just having fun, and you did well. You finished what, top 10, 12 or something like that?
Well, no, we were top 12 in the warm up, but we I don't know where we finished the race. We were just in front of. I don't know where I finished that day.
I thought you were right up there.
We got close.
And I was like, dang, man, he jumped in. So, yes, it was very enjoyable to work with you. And shame didn't work it out for many other races. But I'm glad at least you, not only full season, with a great guy, Ricardo. I really like Ricardo. So, you're going to have your chance to be on the podium one day, my friend. Trust me.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Hopefully we got to get another one like Milwaukee. Did you like Milwaukee? Did you miss racing in Milwaugie? Because I thought that was really fun last year. I thought that was a great addition.
Milwaukee was awesome. Oh, that's right. You finished third there, right?
Yeah,
that's right. I remember. Oh, but hold on. I remember. You actually drove really well, but it was the yellow that helps you. Yes, I remember that, right?
Okay, yeah, it wasn't the 14 cars that I passed in 2 laps, but that's fine.
He's just ripping top the whole time.
In the end of the day,
don't you dare say it was the yellow, brother.
In the end of the day, whatever it is, I won many races because of yellow, including one Indy 500. So don't you worry, that was a legit result, and I was happy for you that day because you guys well deserved. But anyway, so yes, I love Ricardo because he does have a great, the guy's coming from a go-kart team ownership, and now becoming an IndyCar owner and still kicking butt, which I really respect this type of personality.
I agree. Well, Elio, thank you. I appreciate you spending time with us. I don't want to take up too much of your evening because we got to go to work tomorrow, and you're 50, so you might have to get to sleep early. I don't know how that works, but we'll see.
I got to go to bed in half an hour, buddy.
I know, yeah. Hey, well, thank you so much, man. And honestly, it would be wild to see you win 5. I hope we can stop it from happening personally, but incredible to have you on the show, and I appreciate it.
Chase, thank you, Connor. All the best. Good luck.
Well, let me tell you what. That was a great interview with Helio Castroneves. Love the way he communicates. Such a legend in our sport, obviously a 4-time Indy 500 champion. I've been trying to get him on the show for a couple of weeks, and it hasn't worked out yet, but shout out to the MSR PR squad. They helped me out with that one. Great group over there. Really, really love that team and everyone in that organization. But yeah, awesome interview. We have a very, very exciting week ahead. I mean, this is qualifying week. This is practice. We've got all kinds of things up in front of us. The Indy 500 is almost here. If you're watching on YouTube, there's going to be no Barber vlog or Indy GP vlog because it has been, I've never been busier in my life. Obviously, we mentioned a little bit of that sponsor conversation. But what I am going to try to do is I'm going to try to do maybe a video every day after practice if we can make it happen, and just a quick summary, just a quick wrap up of the day, get you guys locked in on what we had going on and a few of the things that I saw. So yeah. Let's get into it next week. I don't know who's going to be on the show. Maybe we'll interview the pole sitter if it's not Alex Palou. or if it is Alex Palou, we're not going to interview him. Maybe we'll interview the second place qualifier. We'll see. But yeah, with that, obviously this week, real quick, you can watch a lot of what goes on track. Thankfully, we have a great Fox Sports partner. I want to kind of read the TV schedule because I believe there is multiple ways to watch.
That was a big TV schedule. It's big.
Yeah, so I saw this tweeted out today. So anyway, so Tuesday, practice starts at noon, and it's going to be on FS2. Then it switches over at 4 p.m. to FS1, so a little couple happy hours there. And then Wednesday, that is FS2 at noon, and then 4 p.m. switches over to FS1, so you can be watching. And those are the first 2 days. But I assume it's going to be similar as we go throughout the week. Every day we're going to have something that you can watch, that you can consume, which is just, that's just awesome.
And don't forget, you can watch on foxsports.com as well. If you're watching on the .coms, if you're on the computer, you can watch on foxsports.com. So you don't have to have a TV. Yeah, Fox Sports. Right. I live stream all the races, all the practice sessions. That's how we roll.
Fox actually just unveiled their new streaming app as well, Fox One. So I'm very curious to see what that's going to be about. It looks like all the folks who want to stream the race might be able to do it. So with that, let's get to the Ricky Treadway Random Indy 500 Driver of the Week.
The greatest event of its kind has never been run on.
Let's meet the drivers. Who will make up the field?
All right, this week I got a special tip about an interesting driver that we might have to have a look at. So we went deep into the archives. Shout out to my Chevy engineer Josh for letting me know this fun fact. We went to the 1931 Indianapolis 500. 1931 Indianapolis 500. There's a couple drivers that we have used in this race before. Several drivers, as I'm sure they are in the atmosphere somewhere, probably wondering if they're going to be the Ricky Treadway Random Indy 500 Driver of the Week this week. Wherever they're at in the heavens or the aura of the earth, whatever you believe in, who knows? I'm sure they're up there somewhere, spirits. The 40th place finisher. Now, I'll have to look into some history about why there were 40 racers in this year's Indy 500. But Francis Quinn finished 40th. Dead last, Francis Quinn. He did exactly 3 laps. Now, someone told me, Josh might have told me, that this is the only Indy 500 driver that has the last name that starts with a Q. And I don't know if that's true. But Francis Lafayette Quinn was born in 1903, died a very early life, or died very early on, 1931. Quinn was a prominent figure in racing on America's West Coast, including winning the American Automobile Association's Pacific Southwest Championship in 1930. Quinn attempted entry into the Indianapolis 500 multiple times, but was denied due to an abnormally large heart. That's wild. He was finally allowed entry in 1931 after his Pacific Southwest Championship win the year prior. Wow, that's crazy. Whoa. So Quinn sadly died in 1931 in a traffic collision 5 miles north of Fresno, California. While driving his passenger car back from a rained-out event scheduled at Oakland Speedway, Quinn's southbound car was struck by an oncoming car. Oof, brutal. So that's a real shame. But Francis Quinn, only one Indy 500, and we found it. So that's a wild fun fact there. No pictures of him either, Chase. Couldn't find any pictures.
I actually have found a photo of him.
Oh, you did? All right.
I have a photo of him. I'm looking at him. He looked like a cool guy. He looked serious. He was very serious. He had his goggles on the top of his head.
Okay, nice.
He kind of looks like the actor that played Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Also Boondock Saints. I can't think of his name right now, but he's a great actor.
There
he kind of favors him, and the fact that his middle name was Lafayette, shout out to Louisiana. That's a great city, wild city over there, the Raging Cajuns. Got to give it to them. And yeah, that's the guy that ended up tragically, taking his life, he did get manslaughter charges against him. So
there you go.
There is that.
Justice was served.
Amen.
Justice was served. Anyway, we appreciate all you folks for listening. If I didn't get you a Speed Street sticker over the weekend, I promise you I am only trying to give those out as like a bonus. If you're upset that I wasn't able to give you a sticker, I really do apologize, but I can't always have them on me. It's just going to be a random luck of the draw thing. I don't even know if you can buy them on the Speed Street website or the Dirty Mo Media website. I don't think you can, which is, hey, that's fine. But I promise I'm trying. Sometimes I don't have them because I'm busy, and please don't hate me for the fact that I don't have stickers on me at all times. I promise I'm trying. But I did just put a supply at the track in my trailer, so I will work on having those available for folks. But tune in this week, subscribe, like these videos, like our podcast, rate the podcast, whatever you want to do. Listen on Spotify, Apple, however you want to do it. We appreciate you folks, and we'll see you after qualifying for the Indianapolis 500 next week. We will see what happens. See you next week. Hey everyone, Connor Daly here. Please leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it, and also subscribe to the channel as well. That would be very helpful. Be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you on the next episode of Speed Street.